Welcome to Before It Gets Ugly, where we talk about how to get out of high conflict divorces before it gets ugly. And listen, they get ugly. Today, I want to talk about the most important thing that you will hear all through your divorce journey. So sit back and listen. This is really important because when people come to me, the first thing they want is justice. They've been hurt, they've been betrayed, their spouse has either cheated on them financially, there's been infidelity, whatever it has been, or just a long, arduous journey with a real high conflict person. And so now we want justice. We want the courts to know how bad they were to us, and we want this fixed. All right, sit back and take a few deep breaths, because it's not like that at all. I've been a long time divorce strategist, certified coach, and guess what? A real long time private investigator. So I've testified in the courts. I've talked to lots of judges, worked with many lawyers, and I can tell you what the choreography of the courtroom is and what they want, okay? You're emotional, I get it. You feel betrayed and you want to be in front of a judge and you want a judge to know how you feel and you want justice. It doesn't always work that way. And oftentimes, if you think you want justice from a judge, you may go into the courtroom and say, you know what, this is going to be my big day. And the judge is going to agree with me and the judge is going to punish him. You'll see. And sometimes the judge may not see it that way. Okay? So let's get your justice other ways. The best way is to settle up as best you can without getting to that place. That's another video. We're going to talk about the lawyers and the legal system. We're going to get there. But today I want to talk about your emotions and how to keep your emotions out of this as best as you can. And how do you keep your emotions in check? Well, first and foremost, you need a team. Video is called You Need a Team. If you're dealing with a high conflict individual, you cannot do this by yourself. AI is not your attorney, your strategist, your therapist, your forensic accountant. They're not those people. Now, when I say a team, I don't mean a team of 10, but I do mean that you do need a strategist coach that can keep you down off the ledge, tell you how this journey is going to be, help you find an attorney if you don't have one, those kind of things. You definitely should have an attorney in a high conflict divorce situation because they are going to be your driver. They are your person that's going to help you navigate around this legal system that you don't know. A third of my clients are attorneys. Wrap your mind around that for a minute. They're not divorce attorneys, they're appellate attorneys, M&A attorneys, maritime attorneys. Why are they working with me if they're attorneys? Because family law, divorce law is completely different. It's a whole different zeitgeist, okay? So a heart surgeon, right? If they need, gastric surgery, they go to a gastro doctor, right? So this is a very specialized part of law, a part of the legal system. So you definitely need a lawyer, and not just a lawyer, divorce lawyer. You need a divorce attorney, and that's another video, who understands high conflict. And I mean, not only understands it, but gets it, knows how to litigate it to get you to the other side. You may need a therapist. Now, when I say a therapist, somebody who maybe does EMDR, CBT, somebody who understands high conflict. Because if they don't, I'm not talking about the therapist who's going to talk to you about how to, do art therapy when you were 2 or 3. I'm talking about the person who really understands a high conflict situation and helps you get through that. You may also need an accountant, somebody to work with on the finance side. Now, you may stand back and go, wait, that's just too many people. Okay, well, I haven't even gotten into the collateral with the kids because we try to avoid that at all costs. Again, another video. But this is like this small team. What's interesting is very often when I say this to somebody, they're like, that's too much. I go, okay, well, tell me about your wedding. Oh, it was beautiful, it was wonderful. How many people were involved in your wedding? Well, we had the place where we had it, we had the caterer, we had the band, then we had a DJ, then we had the person who played the guitar at the church. Then we had, like at the club, we had a golf cart, we had somebody that drove us from there, and then I had somebody who did all the girls' hair, then I had somebody who did all their makeup, then we had the florist, and I go, wait a minute. You have all of these people, and you spent a fortune for all of these people for a 4-hour affair. And now you're in a position where this is a huge turning point in your life, probably one of the 5 huge turning points of your life, or 2 or 3. And you're grappling about, I think I'm going to use AI instead. And my friend has this attorney and I think they'll be okay and that'll be fine. Or like, I don't really need somebody to coach me. I'm good. And my finances, I'm good. I balance my checkbook. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Well, this is where, if you're in a high conflict divorce situation, this is where that thinking is going to get you in a lot of trouble. So it's better to get these people hunkered down in the very beginning so that you can get out to the other side. Because if you're dealing with a high conflict person, they're not suddenly going to be at bat for you. Okay, you're doing this solo. And if you're dealing with a high conflict person, they are going to definitely, without any reservation, I can say this, they're going to make this very difficult for you. So you want to make sure you have this team and you're really guarded up. Most of the people who come to me are either about 6 or 7 months into it, their attorney's not working for them because they didn't have the right attorney, or they're having the realization that, oh my gosh, I didn't know my spouse would be this bad to me. I started out, I really wanted to be nice, I wanted to be collaborative, I got a collaborative attorney, not working out, and wow, they're really bad. And the first question, well, we have an intake form, but I do say to them, well, your spouse was so rotten to you during your marriage, what made you think that they would suddenly be okay? And the answer is always the same. Well, I just thought they would. That means you hoped they would. But that's not realistic. That's cognitive dissonance. That is not what's real. I know they're really horrible, but I'm hoping that they won't be. And the line from point A to point B, there is no line. It's kind of jagged all over the place around your head and out the back door. So it's, you have to be realistic about where you are, because being in a fantasy place is going to be really tough for you. So you want to make sure you have those people really lined up and you have that team, because when you have that team, you will be in pretty great shape. And justice does come, but don't look for justice in this particular situation. Look for fairness for you, how to get through your divorce with the least amount of emotional, financial damage, the least amount of damage to the children, knowing that your spouse may be pretty tough through this journey, and then get out to the other side. Justice does play out. It does. If they've been rotten to you, karma's a what, right? But justice is not the end game here. It's getting through it in one piece. All right, now hop on the next video, because we are going to talk about how to find the best attorney for a high conflict divorce.